President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, discusses the upcoming testimony of former special counsel Robert Mueller. One America's Neil McCabe sat down with Giuliani for part one of a two-part interview. Take a look.
Before Rudy Giuliani became the leader of President Donald Trump's legal team, he had been the mayor of New York and a senior official in President Reagan's Justice Department. He told One American News that even before special counsel Robert Mueller testifies before Congress, he and his team have broken the rules of legal ethics. What are you expecting this week when he testifies?
I expect that he's going to do what he said, which is stick to the report, the four corners of the report. So therefore, we know what he's going to say. He has announced several times that it would be inappropriate, unethical. He's right to go beyond the report. The report itself is probably unethical. The rule of the Justice Department is, as a prosecutor, and after all, he's bound by the Justice Department, he's supposed to abide by the rules of fairness and ethics. If you don't prosecute a case for any reason, either you decline or you can't make up your mind, you cannot comment on that case.
That's Rule 6E.
Yeah, you can't comment on the case for a good reason, because I don't get a chance to. If you're the prosecutor and somebody thinks I did something wrong and you can't bring a charge against me, if you can comment on the case, you can sort of charge me without charging me and give me no chance to defend myself adequately. So it's been time-honored rule that honest, decent prosecutors do not comment on a case. So I think he set a rule for himself when he did that 9-minute kind of useless statement that he made, where he said, I'm never going to talk about this again. I'm not going to comment anymore. Of course, then he got intimidated by the Democrats. He put it off by a week. I have to suspect that he wants to stick to the report. If he does, the Democrats are going to, of course, be angry at him. And if he doesn't, the Republicans will condemn him for being unethical. Oh, I know Bob since 1981, 82, when he was an assistant. I remember him working for Bill Weld at one point. Then I got to know him when he was head of the FBI. And then I was shocked at the Bob that I met a couple of years ago when I first began to represent the president. I had a big meeting with him. He seemed to only have, didn't seem to have the knowledge of the case that I thought he would have. For the next year and a half, we dealt with his assistants. And every time we'd want to deal with him, they'd say they'd bring it to Bob, bring it to Bob. When we make a complaint or we'd have a request that was, needed some thinking, they'd say, we'll take it to Bob. After a while, I would say, don't wake him up. I mean, gee, you guys decide. I think you're deciding anyway. I got a sense of two different people writing that report. It was almost they were arguing with each other. You'd get some very sensible analysis of obstruction, in which there can't be an obstruction if there's no underlying crime. And then you get the Weissman analysis, which is, I think there's a word for fakta, crazy, zealous, like everything is a crime. But I mean, it's totally ridiculous. Any seasoned prosecutor would say, if there's no underlying crime, and therefore the person's innocent, then the things they're doing to defend themselves are things they're doing to defend themselves if they're innocent. Now, if they're guilty, those things are obstruction. So that's what Barr explained.
You told me a few months ago that there was a case of severe misconduct by the Mueller team that you didn't want to tell me about. But yeah. They know what they did, and they know you know. What did they do?
Well, let's talk about Corsi. I mean, I can't tell you all the details of it, but you think about it. Corsi, toward the end of the investigation, so end of the investigation meaning November, December of 2018, at or around the time we were finally answering the questions, the narrow group of questions that we agreed on, we found out that they were pressuring Corsi to tell a story that Corsi maintained was untrue. If you tell the story, if you say what we say, what we say we know, you'll get probation, or maybe even no charge. Well, we got all that documentation. They got caught red-handed. It was leaked to us. And at first, when it was leaked to us, we thought maybe we were being set up. So I immediately reported it to the FBI, to them, and to the Justice Department. And indeed, it was their material. And in fact, they were doing to Corsi what they were getting away with doing to Manafort for about 10 months.
Neil W. McCabe, One American News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.